everyone, welcome back to my channel. This video is about the romance of the everyday, which is a concept or philosophy that I coined a few years ago while I was going through a time where I was facing tough circumstances that I didn't really have control over or the power to change, and I was thinking a lot about habits and our power to construct our realities. The day that I filmed this, I was actually in a low mood, and I initially thought that I'd film a different day and upload that. But I think this actually illustrates the concept even better because even though I was in a low mood, I still remember this as being a good day. And that's kind of the power of the romance of the everyday, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. So here I am making my bed in the morning. This always makes me feel a little bit better because it makes my room feel a lot more neat and tidy, and it makes me happy to be in it. For me personally, when there's a lot of clutter or mess, I don't feel relaxed or at ease. So starting my day off with a clean room always helps me to have a much better mood throughout the day. Folding my prayer clothes. The doll on my bed, her name is Yasmina, and I've had her since the 3rd grade. My mom bought her for me for good grades. So she means a lot to me. She's moved around with me a lot, and I've had her for a lot of years, so even just seeing her makes me happy. Next, I went down to my basement to do a workout. I had been wanting to work out for a while, and so I was like, okay, I'll do one right now. I went down and started stretching, and I got as far as a few exercises, and then, like I said, I was not in a good mood, and I just didn't really feel like doing it. So I just stopped and I went upstairs. Like, I did the stretches that you see right here, and I did a few extra exercises, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling this. Nobody's forcing me to work out. Um, and I don't want to do it. So I just stopped and went back upstairs. And that's part of it too, is recognizing that, you're in charge of your life and what aspects you can control, you should. So I went upstairs to make tea instead. I've been having coffee usually in the mornings, but I think I was out of ground coffee this morning, so I decided to make tea instead. And I actually ended up reaching for the last of my jasmine green tea, which I hadn't had in a long time. And I love the smell of it. It's so beautiful. So I tried to take time to really enjoy it and to take a breath in of the smell of it. You know, tea tea making, coffee brewing, they're all processes that require a lot of ritual. I mean, this is not a new concept, For many cultures, there's a lot of tradition and ceremony that comes with brewing tea and coffee. And so I try to kind of take part in that and appreciate that. You know, making tea or coffee in the morning is something that I really enjoy. So I try to just be present in the process and have fun with it. And I try to engage my senses when I'm doing this. I always take a moment to smell the coffee and to smell the tea that I'm brewing. And I think to me, like, that's part of the romance of the everyday is enjoying the rituals in your life that make the routines bearable. There I am smelling the tea again. So, like you'll see in this video, nothing exciting or out of the ordinary happens in this day. It's just a pretty typical weekend. And that's kind of the point, is that this isn't about life is not about the big, huge moments. It's about the repeated actions. It's about the habits. It's about the things that you experience every day. And like I said, there's a lot of the times there are circumstances that you cannot change, but your approach to life and what you get out of it and your attitude, those are things that you definitely can, exercise some control over. Of course, within certain boundaries and certain, circumstances. I'm gonna add honey to my tea. I'm trying not to make noise because the rest of my family is still asleep and they always tell me I'm really noisy in the mornings. But as you can tell by the spoon clicking, I don't know how successful I am in that. There I am, savoring my first couple of sips of the tea. By the way, guys, tea and coffee tastes way better from fine bone china than it does from anything that's thick, like thick mugs, and thick ceramics. Doesn't do it justice. Try to get a fine bone china for coffee and tea. Because I was in a low mood and I kind of didn't know what to expect from the day, I decided to do a face mask while my tea cools down a little, and while I do some other things in the morning. So here I am with my spoon because I don't have one of those fancy face mask spreaders. And I'm just applying it to my face and then I'm going to spread it over. I don't like to overemphasize beauty processes as, being related to mood or happiness. I think that that's kind of silly or foolish to do. But I was feeling like my skin needed a little bit of extra care and time. And I was like, you know what? Instead of putting it off to another day, I'm just going to put it on right now. And then I can, go and do the rest of my morning stuff and it'll just sit on my face. I like face masks for that reason. You can feel like you're doing two things at once pretty easily, which is always fun. It looks so funny right now. Guys, I left the camera there and went to my room and then I had to come back and grab the camera, obviously. Or my phone, because I'm filming on my phone. I felt so silly, but... So then I decided to go ahead and get started on my day. I took my tea into my room, I had my face mask on. I opened up my computer to kind of check in on a few things and create a to-do list. I'm sorry if the slurping of the tea bothers anyone, but when the tea is really hot, I have to slurp it so I don't burn my tongue. So I kind of thought about what I wanted to do that day, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna actually take the time that my face mask is drying to read a little bit. So I started reading a new book. It's called I'm Supposed to Protect You from All This. And I felt like, that morning was a perfect time to read. It was all nice and quiet, and I had tea. I was waiting for my face mask to dry. After I finished my face mask, I decided to make some bahur. So I went and washed my face mask off, and then I put a coal on the stove to light it. And this bahur I got in Dubai, and it smells so gorgeous. I love it. And this was the last of it. So I had to really savor it and take it in. After that, I ended up doing a bunch of other stuff, and I ended up talking on the phone with my friend Zahra for 3 hours. I don't know how the time passed so quickly, but we were on the phone for 3 hours while I did some crafts. And then I ended up taking a nap. I was feeling kind of tired. I took a nap. I swear, right before I started recording this video, the birds were tweeting outside and chirping. And then me and Hattie went for a drive, and we went to the lake.
Yeah.
The lake is still frozen. We got McDonald's. I got fries. He got ice cream. And I brought my watercolor paints, and we were going to do some watercolor painting over there as well. But it ended up being pretty chilly. So honestly, we just ate our food, and then we ended up leaving pretty soon after that. Hattie's about to demonstrate to you guys that the lake is still frozen.
Yeah. Smile for the camera. Smile for the camera.
After that, I went home and had dinner with my family. This is like the only time that I remember to take a video after the food was already tucked in too, but you know what? It was a good day. Like I said, I hadn't had the best day that day. I wasn't in a good mood, but the day still ended up being good, and that's what I believe in, is the power of the everyday, the power of noticing what's beautiful about life even when we're in pain. I hope this video helps you guys in some way. I hope it changes your outlook on life and helps you appreciate the little moments. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below if you enjoyed it, and let me know what you'd like to see next.